why does Carson Wentz, and this is a horrible comparison. I know Carson Wentz is way better than this quarterback, but why does Carson Wentz now feel like Sam Darnold?
I was thinking that too,
Do
actually.
you like there are moments like why every time I watch Sam Darnold and Carson Wentz this season specifically, why is it that there are moments where you're like, whoa, franchise quarterback, and then there are moments where you're like, he looks timid, he doesn't look comfortable. They feel the same to me for some reason, even though I know Carson Wentz is twice as better, I should say, even though it's probably not inaccurate phrasing, but you get where I'm coming from.
Right. That's weird too because I was thinking about that actually. It's funny you say that. But I think that they are both showing this kind of timid style of play, so to speak, for very different reasons. Darnold is because obviously he has no protection, and I mean that offense as a whole is just really lackluster. But the Eagles, on the other hand, they have a decent O line. I mean, it's not as amazing as it once was for sure, um, but it's not bad by any means. But he just doesn't really have any weapons. I feel like there's not. I feel like he doesn't have a target downfield that he totally trusts, and so I think that's part of the problem. I think he looks a little timid because he knows he has to throw, but he's like, I don't know if I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so, and I don't know why that is, to be totally honest with you, because we saw him at the end of last year when he was throwing to, as you would say, lawn chairs, and he looked great. So it's weird. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's not even the case. That's just what it seems like.
It is weird for me because you mentioned all those things about the Jets offense, and I feel the same way about the Eagles offense. I really do, but like it's because like I don't now. My obviously the Jets and Eagles running back positions is much different. We all know the
Yeah.
capability of Miles Sanders, right? But that's not really their focus of their offense. I mean, the main thing for me was like there are certain moments where Wentz looks just messed up. Like there was a play in the fourth quarter where Greg Ward is just running in an out route, and he's wide open. And because that middle linebacker is sitting there, he just doesn't trust himself to throw the ball directly to Greg Ward where he would have been wide open. Their play, like first quarter of that game last week, that happened consistently.
Yeah.
But I don't even. I don't. I'm less, or I guess the more I watch Carson Wentz, the more hesitant I am than Darnold to say he's regressed. I'm really hesitant to feel that way because we know what he's actually capable of, whereas Darnold, we didn't really know where his progression was.
Yeah.
So we saw it in the playoffs last year. I think that's part of the reason. We saw it in the playoffs last year, with the lawn chair thing of like, he's playing basically with these same kind of guys. So that's where I'm less hesitant to say, oh, he's regressed. I feel different about it every week. Like maybe last week I might have said he regressed, but do you see where my mind's at? Like I just don't know what to make of it right now.
Yeah. I don't think. I mean, personally, I don't think it's fair to say that Darnold has regressed because, to me, everything going wrong there, or not everything, but most of the things going wrong there are not his fault.
I agree. I agree.
I mean, he makes some bad decisions. No one will deny that. But I think if he was in a better organization that had even a little bit more talent than the Jets do, he'd probably be much more successful. I mean, this is no secret. I've never been a big Donald fan. I don't, nothing against the guy. I just don't think he's, I don't see what everybody is all high on him for. But, I was thinking about it. It's like, well, if he wasn't in such a bad organization, that would probably be a bit different. So I don't know. But with Wentz, I don't get it. I mean, the Eagles organization, I think, is great. I think Doug Peterson is a really good coach. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it's just Carson. Maybe he's had too many injuries and he's just afraid, or I don't know.
To finish up the Darnold point,
yeah,
for me, the reason why I say he's regressed is I look at a guy like Josh Allen. And yeah, the Bills have done a much better job organizationally with giving him the tools to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're talking about a natural progression, Josh Allen is the perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
But Darnold, regardless of organization, there's no natural progression there.
Right.
And that's my biggest issue with him. But to Wentz for me, what I'm just struggling with now is every time I watch the Eagles now, I look back to the draft and think, why didn't they draft a receiver high in the draft? I mean, did they have a first round pick this year? Like, I don't even remember exactly, but like
they did.
But like,
I don't remember who they got.
I don't know why they didn't just draft a receiver high.
Mm-hmm.
Because this receiver class was so big that I don't even understand why. I mean, they took Jalen Reagor, so yes, they did take a receiver. Jalen Reagor's been kind of injured, so that might be also a fault of like this idea of the injury thing. So yeah, I guess you can make a claim that the injury bug is clearly a problem with this receiving core. But not only that, their offensive line. I think tonight we actually saw the importance of Lane Johnson at left tackle. He was injured for a big portion of the game. The offensive line was never the same. It shows you what a stalwart at a tackle position or anywhere on the line can help
especially
the quarterback.
Tackle.
Right. But I think that was a huge problem as well. I mean, if it's really just the injury bug, is Alshon Jeffrey going to make and Jalen Reagor when I'm not even sure if he's fully healthy right now? Do you really think that they're number one guys right out the gate that can help Carson Wentz? I don't even believe that's the case.
Right. Well, and going back to what you were saying about guys and how they progress, that's the thing about Josh Allen to me, is that in my opinion he's a much better at, regardless of organization, talent around them, whatever. I think Allen is just a much better talent than Wentz or Darnold, because he is much more athletic than them, for starters. He's much faster. He's got a much stronger arm. I think what he needed to do was just work on his accuracy, which he has, obviously, and then just make better decisions, which I think has come with coaching. And I just don't, that kind of groundwork, of just like having a player, like starting with the player being talented himself. Like, I just don't think that kind of basis is there for Wentz or for Darnold. Because
but hang on though, sorry to interrupt, but hang on.
No, that's fine.
You remember, what was it, the Super Bowl year when he got hurt? Now obviously another big issue is Wentz getting hurt, but let's take this out of the equation. Let's take the injury bug out of the equation. You remember 12 weeks into the year, that year that the Eagles won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Carson Wentz was the MVP at that point. I still voted him as the MVP winner, because I didn't think Tom Brady deserved the MVP. I thought Wentz did enough in 11, 12 games to win the MVP that year. I don't, like, that's where I struggle. It's like he's on a massive contract. He's not on a rookie deal anymore.
Yeah.
The guy he should be polished right now. He shouldn't be at this point where we're comparing him to Darnold or Allen at this point. The guy isn't even on his rookie deal anymore, so you can't even say these kind of things. And how does it change from the playoffs, where he has the same amount of talent and produces and plays as well as he did, to now? I just can't figure it out. This all goes through my head. I just cannot figure it out for my life. Is it the injuries? I mean, I don't really think so. That's why I'm not bringing it into the conversation, but that's why I'm struggling so much. I just don't know what to make of it.
Yeah. Well, when I say that, what I meant is, like, Wentz doesn't have the natural athletic ability or arm strength that a guy like Allen has.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's what I
fair.
meant by
That's
that.
fair.
But,
That's fair. No, absolutely, that's fair.
so, put Allen in the right organization, he's a star. Which he is, for him. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what the issue with Wentz is. Honestly, I think he's just just a bit timid after all these injuries that he's had. I mean, he's been injured every year, hasn't he?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
it could be trusting the receivers as well, which we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
It could be a combination of these things.
Yeah, because I mean, I highly doubt it's a coaching thing.
It can't be. Doug Peterson's called some great plays for him all season.
Yeah, no, because I think Doug Peterson is one of the more underrated coaches in the NFL, actually.
Oh, he's one of the top coaches in the league, no question.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I never thought that Wentz was amazing personally, but I never thought he would be at this kind of a low.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is weird.